I think this is a story about my life and about who I am. Actually, it's very weird because this body is 25 years old, but I became who I really is only in this February. And so how it could happen, and is it possible that life actually started long after the body started to live? At first I think we need to came back maybe in 99 years. Not back in 99 years, but in in the end of the 20th century. Yeah, 1999, of course. Yeah, in Donetsk, Ukraine. And there was a little child. He preferred to call that people around him call him Mowgli, because this child, 3 years old child, really liked this book. But actually, this child be a little bit weird for the environment. You know, Russia and Ukraine and all post-Soviet Union countries, they are very, very normalized. For example, they could bully adult person who like Tolkien books. They could ask people question in the street why these people wear such weird stuff. They could touch someone else's plates and say, "Oh, it's not appropriate for a person your age." They could just openly said that you are subhuman if you are Jewish, and say about it to your friend, and other person is listening to you. So this child, this Mowgli, this was a really, really weird child. Because the child was autistic, only their parents don't know about it. And also this child was a transgender child. Their parents believed that this Mowgli is a girl, because they was born in girl body, but they understand that they're not a girl. They understand it fully and prefer to call himself by male pronouns, by male name, and their parents was very normative people, normalized people, like most people in Russia and most people in Ukraine, and they started to allow to this child. Blame them that they created too much problems, say to them that no one would accept you, no one would love you if you would be like this. And sometimes this was something unreal, like for example, you couldn't think with pictures. And this child was thinking how could think if it's not about with pictures, or you need to speak orally better, or you need to watch to someone else's eyes, all the stuff that autistic child couldn't do. And other stuff was more clear, like you need to call herself in like girl, you need to call herself Nika, you need to call herself she. And this child decided to go to compromise. The child decided to, okay, I would call myself Nika, I would call myself she. It was really, really proper made decision. But after that, something happened. But thinking started to happen in this way, in these years. It was kind of splitting inside. You know, when person have kind of trauma, this person could feel like their body not fully belong to them, like they're going somewhere and forget half of the road, for example, or watching movie and forget part of the movie because their emotions was far away, or when person have traumatized events, their loved ones died, or this person is see war on or something, some kind of crime. This person couldn't imagine this, but after that, after some triggers, this person have memories about this event. It's called this situation when you don't remember what you are doing, called dissociation, and this stuff when you kind of couldn't remember properly what was going on during trauma events, called dissociative, called post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. And when a young child have PTSD too long, as PTSD, complex PTSD, a young child could develop not like most kids. It could be developing several personalities. So when this Mowgli tried to say, okay, I would be a girl, I would call myself she, but it was deeply, deeply traumatized, and their parents beating them and yell at them, and after that, this kind of child, it's like became two childs. The person who call themselves Ayman now and Mowgli. This Mowgli just started to live inside the head all these years, and Ayman heard their voices. This was child, this was boy who don't want to go to compromise, who couldn't do it, because it just was impossible for them, for him. And it was just like imaginary friend, the voice inside your head. And after that, it started again, and this girl, Lisa, appeared. This girl was more kind of empathic. This girl appeared when Ayman need to be kind of more good girl, stereotypically good girl, more kind of woman-like girl, girly girl. And this girl was scared of everything, was scared of Disney movies, of death on TV, of some, even of some voice or some music. And Ayman's parents started to yell at this girl and yell at Lisa that Lisa is too scary, that Lisa is coward, that God don't love cowards. God would punish her, he would go into hell. And maybe this is why it started again. And Vika, adult woman who could do more stuff that little Lisa or Ayman or Mowgli could do, appeared. And after that, Lillian, this kind of she was scientist, and she was telling all the stories about stars and about time and space traveling, like in Doctor Who. And she was kind of adult sister, old sister for us, for all people who live in this body. And she was our protector, this sister that we don't have in real life, this adult that we don't have actually, because actually life started to get harder and harder and harder for Ayman. Ayman have to go to school where no one understands what it means to be autistic. Ayman was partly Jewish, but teacher in Ayman's school justified Holocaust. And another split happened, and another, and another, and another, and another. Some of these alters, some of these identities sometimes came, and Ayman just don't remember what was going on in this time, or remember it's not fully, or don't remember emotions at all. Sometimes Ayman was thinking, maybe I need to tell about it my parents, but their parents just decided that even autism, they don't want to listen even about autism after Ayman was diagnosed with autism. It was self-diagnosed. After they diagnosed, Ayman dad said, in the church they would splash holy water on you and would be right. It's just because of your poor will. Or, for example, when Ayman tried to speak with their parents about one of the alters, Yuki, and about Lil, they were scared that their parents decided that they're possessed. It was proper scary, because kind of, how to explain it? Ayman's dad stopped contributing Ayman when Ayman was 19 years. Ayman was living with their girlfriend, their wife, their future wife, and wanted to take documents from home, but their dad locked the door, pushed Ayman on the bed, and started to beating Ayman, and yelling that he would call ambulance if Ayman wouldn't go to this university that Ayman's dad wanted Ayman to call. So yeah, Ayman was very scared of these people, and Ayman was scared with the stuff that's going on inside Ayman's head. After that, it was, I don't know, I think it's a miracle that actually started to deal with this autistic stuff and transgender LGBT stuff. Maybe it wasn't a miracle in this moment because we were scared, they were scared, Ayman was scared, other guys were scared, they were traumatized, but when they started to have problem with Russian government because they moved from Ukraine to Russia because of the war, after that they started to have problem with government because Ayman tried to be the person that Ayman was needed when Ayman was a kid to other children, to other autistic children, to other trans children. And Ayman started to have this problem with the government, and they have to leave. And at first they came to Israel, after that they came to England and asked asylum. And then when Ayman started trying to find more information about what it's about mental health, about child traumas, about transgender stuff, it was that accidentally that Ayman found information about DID, dissociative identity disorder. Ayman speak with their GP, and here we realized that Ayman just part of the system, and this Mowgli, this voice inside, it's a real person, and sometimes now he could claim this little boy and be himself. And me, my name is Anwar, my name is John, now Ayman is near me inside head, but I appeared in this February when we have this, the main interview with Home Office about our immigration case, about our case like refugees. What I want to say, we always appeared because of the trauma. We was born because of the trauma. So sometimes birth could be in really unexpected way. But only when Ayman realized that Ayman have DID, Ayman understand that they don't want to change their past, because if they would change their past, some of the cultures would never exist. And they have fully personalities. They was their friends for many years. Many times when Ayman was near suicide, they saved Ayman's life. And Ayman does not want them to disappear. Ayman don't want me to disappear. Ayman want me to be here with them. And I'm happy that I'm here. And if the end about death, if we're speaking about death, we're so often speaking about the death of the body. It means the death of one person, one personality. But it's for so many years people don't understand what dissociative identity disorder is until 20th century. So how many people, actual personalities died? It was more than we knew the numbers. And when we're thinking about, I don't know, about Holocaust or about some kind of war, any war, Second World War, First World War, and we're thinking about numbers, we understand that it's too small numbers, because personality is actually was too much. And I think the morals of the story is just our society would be better if they would accept this kind of differences and accept that all children are already personalities. But sometimes, yeah, it could happen that because of trauma, child started developing like several personalities, and it could be okay. But in the same way, it would be a better world where children would be treated like real persons even before these traumas happened. I think it's all. Thank you very much.